Welcome to week 5, lesson 2. In this lesson, we're going to continue the discussion on food security, and we're going to focus on different ways or holistic methods to improve food security, as well as examine environmental accounting and how it can be applied to improve the agricultural supply chain. Now, when it comes to food security, some of the holistic approaches is to look at availability. Availability can derive from both import as well as export structures that match the capacity of food supply and demand. It's important to match supply and demand both internally as well as through external sources to ensure that you've got sufficiency to maintain the nutrition levels for your population. Accessibility is also an important construct when it comes to food security, and it refers to the opportunity of all households to have access to food. And this aspect of food security is one of the most challenging because you would find that the poorest or lowest income households still cannot afford food, even though it is available. And it speaks to the nature of the capitalist market structure when it comes to food security. So we have to promote accessibility beyond just availability. When it comes to utilization, the food supply chain itself sees a high degree of wastages, and this wastage then translates into extreme landfill situations, and you have this high level of food wastage that exists throughout the food supply chain. In other words, much of it is not consumed and most of it is thrown away, so it actually adds no value. Therefore, we have to talk to the sustainability of the food supply chain, ensuring that we create almost a circular economy when it comes to food through recycling, through reuse, through minimizing wastage. This will ensure that we broaden access to food and allow for more people to have access to good levels of nutrition. Fundamental to ensuring all of this is to manage our natural resources appropriately by not depleting the natural resources, by engaging in environmental accounting. And as a manufacturing or service organization or any organization that's involved in the food supply chain, environmental accounting becomes critical as a quantitative assessment of the costs and benefits of whatever it is you're undertaking, to make sure that you're calculating it from a cradle to cradle perspective to understand the life cycle cost of what you are doing. This will allow you to make decisions to make your supply chain more sustainable. Environmental accounting is therefore important for the following reasons. It's going to help managers make decisions to eliminate the environmental costs, to track your environmental costs more carefully, to understand your costs so you could price your products correctly, and of course, improve access, to broaden the investment analysis, and to support the development and operation of an overall environmental management system to ensure that the food supply chain is sustainable. And of course, quantifying these environmental costs is useful so that we can look at how we're using natural resources, whether or not we're degrading these resources and what those costs are, and measuring our environmental impact to make sure that we're producing food in the most efficient way and not harming the environment. I hope that this micro lecture broadened your understanding of food security and the food supply chain. Please ensure that you complete the assignment and quiz and that you complete the required readings. Thank you, and I will see you in the next lecture.